Hello friends, in this video tutorial, let us understand some of the concepts related to report manager. Now for this, let us go to report manager URL. Now this is our report manager URL, right? It can be accessed from here. That is, if you go to configuration manager, if you go to report manager URL and click over here, it will take you to this report manager URL, right? Now as you can see, we have deployed in our earlier video tutorials, we have already deployed two reports, that is RB2 developed in report builder version 2 and RB3 developed in report builder version 3. Okay, these two reports we already deployed in the report server, right? Now if you go to SSRS projects, now these are all the reports that we have earlier deployed using SSDT. Okay, that is, we had gone to SSDT, we had right clicked the report and clicked on deploy, or we had gone to the whole project and right clicked the whole project and clicked on deploy. Okay, so after specifying the report URL, report server URL, so for that we have specified the web service URL. Okay, so this URL we need to specify in SSDT as the report server URL. Okay, and once you deploy from SSDT, the reports can be seen from this URL as well as from the report manager URL, right? But in order to configure advanced options for the reports which are already deployed to the reporting server, we need to go to report manager URL. So for that, let us go. Now over here we can see in home that we have different, from SSDT we have deployed this folder, that is SSRS project folder, and these are the different reports that we had developed in our earlier video tutorials and they have been deployed. Also, if you go to data sources, then we can know that there is a shared data source which has already been deployed. Okay, if you go to its properties by clicking manager, we can go through the different details for this particular shared data source. Now you can, if you click over here, that is credentials supplied by user running the report, then at the runtime the user will have to supply the username password for running the report. Or you can go with this option, credentials stored securely in the report server. Now if you want to enable subscriptions on this particular report, you need to configure this, that is, you need to store the username password securely on the server. Okay, you can also use Windows Internet Security. Okay, and if you are let's say we go to this particular report, right? Let's go, and even the shared data sets are also now available on the report server because we have already deployed them using SSDT. Okay, so if you want to go for further details, then okay, you can go through the different properties of the shared data set. Okay, correct. Now these are the different reports which are using this shared data set. Okay, you can also implement caching and cache refresh options for this data set. Okay, fine. Now you can have folders for images, right? Those images which we had embedded in our reports, right, or report project, right? So those images are deployed over here, right? Now let us go to RB3 report and see how it looks. So RB3 report we have developed earlier in our video tutorial and it looks like this. It's a very simple report showing region wise total sales, right? Now let us go to different options for the RB3 report. So if let us click over here and go to manage. Okay, now if we want to create a duplicate report out of this, we can click on the create link report. Now this feature helps us see, what if we want to have let's say we have a report in which there is a parameter, right? And let's say parameter is a region. And what if we want to see a report, first report with parameter of Asia, second report with parameter of Europe, and third report with parameter of North America? Then we don't need to create 3 different reports with 3 different default parameters. Okay, there is no need to do that. Okay, so it's not that we go to this manage, right, and over here we create 3 different reports. That's not required. What we need to do is we need to create link reports, okay, and provide different parameters in the link reports, okay. That's how link reports can be used. Now if you go to data sources, okay, then either you can use a shared data source, okay, you can even change the things from here. That is, if you had used the embedded data source, you can still make this report use a shared data source from here, okay. So you can click over here and it will, then you have to browse and provide the shared data source. Right now we have got embedded data source to be used in this report. Now over here also we have got the same options, that is credentials supplied by the user. That is, if you click this option, then the user will have to supply the username and password for the database for running this report at the runtime, okay. And if you click this option, that is credentials stored securely in the report server, then this username password will be used to run the queries for the report and to connect to the data source, right? But if you specify this option, you will get an option to have configure the subscriptions also. That is, if the username password are stored securely on the server, reporting server, then you can configure subscriptions also, okay. You can also have Windows integrated security to run the reports, okay. Now I have already done one subscription, created one subscription. Let us understand what I am doing over here. So you can actually create two types of subscriptions. One is email based and second is file share. So you can get reports generated automatically at predefined intervals and get them emailed. But in order to do that, you will have to go to configuration manager, email settings, and you will have to provide a SMTP email from your local network over here. I don't have a SMTP email configured on my local PC, so I am not specifying this, and hence I have only one option, and that is to configure the subscription on a file share. Now I have got a file share with me, okay. So if I go to, this is my PC, okay, this is my PC, and over here I have created a shared folder, and in this share folder I have given the name of network share to this share1 to this share folder. Now you can see that there are multiple PDF files lying in this, right, and the names are RB3 and then _1 to _15. See, now this file has been just now created. So let us go. So it is showing our RB3 report, okay. Now how is it getting generated automatically on this network file share? So let us understand that. So for this, what I have done is I have created this particular subscription, right, and what I have done, I have mentioned the delivery type to be Windows file share, name is RB3, path is this, right, this is the path on which the reports are getting generated, right. We can see this is the path, correct, and the same path I have provided over here, okay. Now the kind of file that I want is PDF, and hence it is generating the PDF files over here, right, okay. And I have to provide, see, whenever I change any of these properties, I have to again provide the password. This is the user name using with this particular Windows shared folder is accessed, okay, because this user then needs to have the right permissions on this Windows shared folder, okay. What I have specified is I want incremental file names as newer versions are added, okay. So whenever a new version is added, it will automatically increment the file name, and that's why it is now, see, after just before a minute it had generated file number 15, now it has generated file number 16, and it is the same report, right, okay. So let us go back to report manager, okay. So this is about the schedule. You can set the schedule from here, right. I have gone to this screen and set the schedule, right. So now as we have again came back to this screen, we have to again put the password and click OK. So this is the subscription. The time when this is a new subscription, it will show status as new subscription, and then it will keep on updating the status. So if you refresh, the last report generated is _16.pdf, right, RB3 _16.pdf, and that's what you can see in the network share also, correct. Now the 17th report has been generated, so now the status is changed. It shows that RB3 _17.pdf has been generated, right, and saved to this network path, okay, network share path. So this is how you can use subscriptions. If your email settings done, if your subscription type to be email, then it will show that this particular email has been sent, okay, with this subject, right. So in this way, subscriptions can be very helpful, very useful, because you can then auto generate emails in nightly batch job cycles or like that, and those auto generated emails or reports can be sent to the user's mailbox, right, by the frequency interval that we have determined. Okay, now let us go to processing options. Now these are all now these options are now related to performance tuning of your SSRS reports. Processing option is after you ran the report. See, this is the first processing option, that is cache. Now what do we mean by cache? After you ran the report, do you want to maintain this data? Do you want to maintain this particular data of the report? Let's say you have 1000 records in your database, okay, and your query filters based on the parameters supplied to the report. Your query filters data has only 200 records. So now based on the parameters values that the report got last time when it ran, do you want to preserve these 200 records on the server? Okay, that's what cache will mean. Okay, and that's the cache that will be stored on the server. Now if you want, you can also specify options to temporarily recycle the cache for the reports. That options can also be specified. Okay, now this is the important option, render the report from the snapshot. As I just gave an example, let's say we have 1000 records and our parameter for the reports filters only 200 records. Now cache will store only those 200 records, but snapshot is a different thing. Snapshot is like it will take the query and it will store all the 1000 records related to that report in our database, okay, as part of the report history. And then you can quickly run the report, and at that time, if you specify this option, that is to run the report from snapshot, then it will not query the database again. It will directly get data from the report history, the snapshot saved as part of the report history. And so that can be an excellent thing. It can be used to increase the report delivery time, or significantly improve the report delivery time to the end user. Okay, because the report then, even if it is having complex queries, even if it is having millions of records, it still doesn't need to go to the database. It directly gets served from the report snapshot that is saved as part of the report history, and that last report history. So that's an excellent option for the performance tuning part. Okay, and you can even time out the report. Okay, now cache refresh. So this is what I was talking about. If you generate cache, you can also configure options over here to refresh the cache. Okay, so how long do you want to maintain the cache? At what time do you want to discard the cache and refresh the cache? Those options can be set over here. Report history. See, I have got this report history generated. Why? Because I have configured the snapshot option. So what I'm saying is, use the following schedule to add the snapshots to the report history. Okay, so generate the snapshots and add them as part of the report history. Okay, and I have configured schedule by going to this screen. Okay, so I'll just click cancel. Now, as I was said that I have already configured the snapshot options for this after going to this screen, right, for this report by coming to this screen. Then what happens to these snapshots? How do I see those snapshots? So those snapshots will be available to you in the report history tab. So this is the last snapshot created. It is 6:43 p.m. So let me go and click this. Okay. So this is how the snapshot is saved in the database. This is the same report with the same output, right? And it has been saved now as part of the report snapshot as part of the report history. Okay. Okay. And security is which all users do you want to allow and at what different roles, right? So that also you can specify. Okay, if you want, you can add a new role assignment. Now these are the different types of different roles available in SSRS. So a user can be browser, a content manager, my reports publisher, or report builder, right? My reports users will get their own specific folder. They can edit and create reports as part of their only folder provided to them. Okay, as the folder name will be my reports folder. Inside that only they have the rights to edit and create reports, right? Whereas content manager has got almost complete rights, right? Publisher can publish the report, right? Report builder can view the definitions, right? And browser can view the report, run the report, right? And subscribe to the reports, right? So these are the different options. You can provide a Windows username over here and then select the option and provide the appropriate role to the user. Okay. So these are the different options available per report basis, right? If you go over here now, we had gone to a report and gone to the manage options. So these are the different options available per report basis, right? And if you go back, then you can go to even folders like data sources, data sets, and do management options. As we already seen in as part of this video tutorial, you can go and do management options for the data sources and data sets as well, right? There is last thing remaining, and that is site settings. So this site settings are at an overall level. Now the configuration options that we were discussing till now were based on a for particular report or for particular data source, right? Or for particular data set, right? But if you want some configurations to be done at the overall site level, then we can go to site settings. Over here also you can provide different settings, right? Like how many snapshots to be kept in history, right? Report timeout, correct? Custom report builder launcher URL, right? All these options you can provide. Also security, if you provide security access to a user at this level, it will be automatically and inherited by the child objects, okay, inside the report server manager, right? Now schedules also, you can create shared schedules over here, which you can use whenever you want to specify any other schedule. Like if we had gone to a report, and if we had gone over here, let's say we want subscriptions, right? And let's say we edit this subscription, then when it's time to select the schedule, you can very well go and say you run the report based on the shared schedule, okay? So you can provide create shared schedule. Right now I have not created any shared schedule, otherwise it will give you the option to run the report as per the shared schedule also, right? So these are the different options that you can configure by coming to the report manager URL. And the last thing is, we already seen in many of our earlier video tutorials that you can directly click on report builder. It will launch the report builder application, and then you can navigate to a report on the server and directly edit or modify the report, which is already deployed to the server using the report builder also, right? And you can upload the files directly over here. So one way to get our reports deployed on the server URL is by having SSDT or report builder. In SSDT, you right click and deploy the report, okay, after specifying the report URL, report server URL. And in report builder, you just save the report by specifying the path of the report URL, right? Report server URL. After that, if you save the report directly comes over here from the report builder. And the third option is you can directly come over here and upload the file, okay? So you can upload the files which are report files which may be lying on your physical folders, and in that way also you can get the reports deployed over here in the report server, okay? That is also a way. So I hope, friends, this video tutorial on report manager is useful to you. Thank you.